I would say 99% of the debt that I have accrued over the last 10 years that I've been dealing with my shopping addiction has been directly because of buy now, pay laters.
A new report is finding that more young people are getting into debt as they face a tougher economic outlook, along with technology making it easier for them to borrow money.
You can't convince me otherwise that credit card is not just like free cash.
Some Americans are drowning in buy now, pay later debt, and the corporations behind it couldn't be happier. What started as a convenient way to split up payments has turned into a financial trap. Every purchase racks up hidden fees and sky-high interest that these greedy lenders love to pile on. In this video, we're exposing how buy now, pay later companies are profiting off of people's struggle, why debt is exploding in 2025, and what it really means for the working class people just trying to get by.
I would say 99% of the debt that I have accrued over the last 10 years that I've been dealing with my shopping addiction has been directly because of buy now, pay laters. And I'm going to explain to you why. And let the record show that I am dealing with a lot of this debt to this very day. For me specifically, shopping really wasn't that much of an issue until I started working in the fashion industry. I was wearing entirely thrifted clothes, all from Beacon's Closet, and I was standing in a room full of Chanel. And when you get the good old up and down once from your boss, I'm talking this, you change your habits. That's when I discovered The RealReal and I started using Affirm really regularly to make purchases from The RealReal. I don't believe Klarna and Afterpay were around yet, but there was PayPal Pay Later, where you could make a purchase and then defer payment for 6 months. I did that all the time on brands like Need Supply and Essence. This is probably 10 years ago, mind you. So I've been dealing with this buy now, pay later for a very long time, decade. But basically what happened time and time again is I would rack up a bunch of debt through these buy now, pay laters. The monthly payments would get too great and I would start missing them. Then I would do a debt consolidation. The debt consolidation loan would bring down my monthly payment, but I would be paying interest. And then because I had a lower monthly payment, I would continue shopping like a I have a UX background, so I tend to notice things like this. I have noticed that the buy now, pay later's user interface make it nearly impossible to track what your total monthly spend is. They just added the feature that says like what you owe this month, but Affirm still has not added that. That is by design, because if you can see very plainly, this is what you owe this month, and this is the interest you will pay if you do not pay that, you're probably not going to shop. It's in the buy now, pay later's best interest to keep their user interface as opaque as possible so you're not aware of what you're spending and you continue to shop. They make money when you miss payments.
Some of the comments say, I feel like in moderation, they can be helpful to break up big costs into interest-free chunks, but they encourage overspending in the long run because they don't tell you what you owe. I used the PayPal 30-day option once, and I was so confused when I saw the debit entry a month later because I couldn't remember buying anything. That kept me from using it ever again. It kind of scared me. You should not be judged for wearing secondhand. No kidding, her boss sounded horrible. I understand like, oh, you're working in fashion, but it's just not worth it to go into debt for that.
So another thing that has my flabbers extremely gasted is this buy now, pay later situation. What are people doing? I just watched this video of this girl saying that she had close to 50 loans on Affirm. How do you even, how? Now, don't get me wrong, I've used Afterpay, Affirm, plenty of those in the past. I still use Affirm sometimes, mostly for like holiday gifts, don't get me wrong. But I always have my auto pay on and I never miss a payment. Like, I don't know what you people are doing. She had in the 5 digits of money due to Affirm. I can't understand how that's, I mean, I understand how people can do that because people are out here buying groceries on Afterpay. What are you doing? Doing installments of your groceries. What happens when you have to buy groceries the next time? You're still paying off last groceries or your gas. Like, it should not be like this. You people need to think better.
I mean, have you seen grocery prices? I just did a video on that. I'm not surprised that people are using these types of apps for groceries.
If it's Afterpay, I'm gonna pick it every time. If there is an option for Afterpay, I'm clicking it. I don't care how much money I have. I don't even care how much the product is. If it's $5, then I'm paying 4 payments of $125. They literally made Afterpay for us girls. It's girl math. We like, okay, so if I have to break this up, it's really like I'm not even paying for anything. Am I right? They need to start doing Afterpay for cars. houses, I'm gonna pick it every time. Because what? You mean to tell me that I can pay this later? Oh yeah, I'm gonna pick it. But my problem is, stop texting me. Because I know when it's due. I know it's due today. You don't have to text me, email me. They be like, hello, your payment is due tomorrow. And then boom, that gets paid. And then 2 days later, your next payment. Girl, stop texting me. I know when it's due.
I detest the term girl math. I hate it. I'm a girl and that is not how I math. Some of the comments say, why we think like that until I got $600 worth of payments. My toxic trait is clicking Afterpay thinking I'm being smart for 6 different orders at the same time. Now I'm paying $110 every 2 weeks. Do they have to run your credit for that? I never did it because I didn't want to give my social. That's the problem with these buy now pay later apps that I don't think people realize, is that when you have all these little loans, which is basically what they are, that does affect your credit. It affects if you will be able to buy a home, if you'll be able to buy a car, because it's looking at how much you've leveraged in credit.
Industry-wide, there may be signs that buy now pay later borrowers are increasingly falling behind on their loan payments, with 41% reporting they were late on one of their loans in the past year, up from 34% just a year ago. And Affirm, which earlier this year became the first major buy now pay later provider to share all consumer data with credit bureaus, said it uses machine learning models to achieve better credit outcomes.
We're able to extend credit responsibly to consumers who can and will repay without charging them late fees, without trapping them into revolving debt, even though their FICO scores may be lower.
Some experts say the current credit scoring models are not well designed for buy now pay later loans.
Up until now, it looked like you took out 3 or 4 different buy now, pay later loans. Even though you were responsibly paying it back on time consistently, it looked like you were maxing out your credit, which was scored negatively, or has been to date scored as a negative.
They are more built around credit cards and a longer type of loan. So it's not clear it could even ever help your credit, but it certainly could hurt if you don't pay it off.
Some of the comments say the next financial crisis will be Americans defaulting on subprime BNPL cheeseburger loans. I have a solution. Don't buy, don't pay. That's my solution too. BNPL is literally just normalizing debt and overspending. The borrower becomes servant to the lender. Debt doesn't just cost money, it costs time. Since most of us trade time for money, staying debt-free means keeping control of your future. And then I found this article from May of 2025 that says, defaults rise as buy now, pay later users struggle to repay loans. More Klarna customers are having trouble repaying their buy now, pay later loans, the short-term lenders said this week. The disclosure corresponded with reports by lending platforms Bankrate and LendingTree, which cited an increasing share of all buy now, pay later users saying they had fallen behind on payments. The late or missed installments are a sign of faltering financial health among a segment of the U.S. population, some analysts say, as the nation's total consumer debt rises to a record $18.2 trillion and the Trump administration moves to collect on federal student loans.
I have a lot of respect for Gen Z, right? Because you guys have seen through a lot of that millennials have put up with. Like, you guys are not letting these corporations take advantage of you in the workplace. You're setting healthy boundaries, and you know that credit cards, like getting stuck in credit card debt, is an endless cycle that's going to just destroy you. You know that student loans and college is not what they promised it would be. But for some reason, the buy now, pay later scam has somehow bypassed your bull detector. And I don't know why that is. And it's only a matter of time before we are all sitting here watching the next Netflix documentary about how Gen Z got bamboozled out of billions of dollars because of buy now, pay later.
Oh, I hope she's wrong, but I don't know if she will be. Some of the comments say, I refuse to touch those things. If I'm not comfortable with the cost up front, then I just don't make the purchase. I don't know if it's Gen Z because it's my coworkers in their late 30s and up doing it. I don't get it. The buy now, pay later has been working for me because I'm not late making my payments. If I can't afford the first installment, I don't buy the product or merch. That's fantastic for people who are paying them off on time. I just know a lot of people with impulse control problems are probably not paying it off and getting trapped in this horrible cycle. I mean, I got trapped in credit card debt in my early 20s. It was a nightmare, and I'm so thankful that these apps were not around then.
Corey, how do you always look so bougie? How do you always look so nice when you're on a budget? Let me tell you my secret. Credit card debt, Afterpay, Klarna. Is it the most financially responsible? No, but that's okay because the debt will disappear someday. You can't convince me otherwise that credit card is not just like free cash. You're welcome.
Oh no, they are in for a rude awakening. Some of the comments say, okay, but Afterpay, Klarna, etc. are actually a form of budgeting. I'm delusional. I cannot get behind this mentality. Zip, Afterpay, Klarna are my best friends and my worst enemies. Ooh, this is how I used to think. I still do, but I just got out of debt, so I have to do better. Good for them.
That age group, 18 to 34, is under a tremendous amount of pressure.
A new report is finding that more young people are getting into debt as they face a tougher economic outlook, along with technology making it easier for them to borrow money. It was the need for a new MacBook that prompted this young person to take advantage of a buy now, pay later loan. The loans allow consumers at checkout to choose to split their payments when making purchases, such as for electronics, airplane tickets, and even clothing.
I think it helped manage with the payment. My term was 2 years. I was actually able to pay off in a year because I was really on top of it.
But that's not the case for every person accessing these types of loans, with the Credit Counseling Society saying people aged 18 to 34 are increasingly reaching out to them for help, with a cohort now making up over 25% of their clients. The Credit Counseling Society says about 40% of their young clients have reported accessing these types of loans, potentially saddling them with high interest repayment terms.
Some of the comments say, I'm not in this age bracket, but times are tough. My family is low income and we are struggling. We borrow a bit from credit, but only when necessary for food. That's what I'm saying. So many people are putting groceries on these buy now, pay later apps, and I can't blame them. Like, groceries are sky high. It's just solid price gouging. As someone in those age brackets, I see a lot of people spending a lot of money and taking on this debt on things they don't need. There is an addiction to buying clothes, cosmetics, expensive foods, toys, and trinkets, and those things really add up, especially with the rising cost of things. If you want something and don't have the money, then save for it. Delayed gratification, people. It's not hard, and you will be proud of yourself once you have saved for it. But to end on a lighter note.
Hey. Oh, hey, Klarna. Surprise. Oh, I was expecting you. Right. You know why I'm here. Yeah. Same reason every 2 weeks. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a day early. Yeah. You are. And tomorrow, I'm gonna get my $14.58, right? Yeah. And is it going to be there? My money? Yeah, it's there. All $14.58. Okay. Because if you recall, there was that one time when it wasn't there. As I explained before, my card expired and I had to update. Oh, okay, I got it. Just maybe you should borrow $60 if you can't pay back. Excuse me, I am paying without interest, mind you. Could I take this? You'll hear from me tomorrow.
And that's going to do it for this video. I hope that you check out one or two of these videos on screen, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.